So hello my Beatles friends, welcome to the new video. This is the very difficult video to make, and I've been making this video for a long time, but it's time to finish it already. I postponed it for 2 months, more than 2 months, because I was waiting for new copies to arrive and I was in a holidays. So now it's time to finish it, okay? So here we are talking about press review of the Rubber Soul albums that I have. I have 11 copies, and let's see what exactly are we talking about. So, first three are the British mono copies, different matrices. I'm going to be talking about it later. The British first stereo, two Germans, first and the third, Israeli pressing, British 1973 pressing, Dutch 1980 pressing, the American 1965 pressing, mono, and Mexican stereo pressing from 1970, which is the first one to be pressed on stereo. The two first are on mono. Okay? So, now I will be showing you the albums in detail, the front cover, the back cover, the labels. We'll talk about the differences, and then we'll talk about the sound. Now we are in a GoPro mode, and we're going to be talking about the covers and the labels. Okay, so this is, I'm going to be talking about three at once. Why? Because the three mono UK pressings that I have, they are no different from each other. So I will be showing you only one, and it concerns all three. So this is the how the mono version looks like. It's laminated only on the front. On the back it's not laminated. Now here on the bottom we have Parlophone logo, and here we have the Rubber Soul logo in a shape of a heart. It's brownish and bright pressing. No complaints here, no blurry, everything's okay here. And what's important to notice that here on Lennon's shoulder, it's black. I will be talking about it in the end. But notice that here it's black. And on all the pressings, it will be black except the last one. So here on the back, we have the Beatles pictures. Each Beatle got two pictures, no common photo here. Here we have the song listing, and here we say it says who plays what and who sings. Little credits here that George wrote 2 songs, and the rest of the songs are written by Lennon-McCartney, except What Goes On, written by Lennon-McCartney-Starkey. So this is the only album that Starkey is credited writing song with Lennon-McCartney. Quite a unique combination. So the photography is by Robert Freeman. Here we have printed and made by Gardner Lofthouse, patents pending. So regular, usual credits. So the other copies are exactly the same, so I'm not going to be wasting your time talking about this. Now we're going to the vinyl. Now vinyl is very interesting. Now, what we have to pay attention at the first place. Here we have sold in UK text. The gramophone is written on the left side. Now here we have the song listing, Parlophone logo. Here we have text code embossed on either side, and here is the catalog number, which is PMC. But what's interesting about Rubber Soul that the fonts on the label are varying from Times New Roman and to the others. I mean, there are 2 different types of fonts on Rubber Soul label, and some of the labels are crossover pressings, which means that on one side you can have one font and the other side you can have different font. Now, as you can see here on my mono pressing is both sides have the same fonts. What is also to be mentioned here that this pressing has the matrix number -5. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. This one is the third mono pressing with the matrix number -5. Now, in order to make my point, I will show you the loud cut. So this is the loud cut. As you can see clearly that the font here is different, not as it was on the other one. And here we have the KT text symbol embossed. And here we have the track listing and sold in UK, gramophone, PMC. I mean, everything exactly as it was on the third pressing, but the fonts are different. And if we look at this side too, we have the same fonts. So this is the normal first pressing. Now, if we look at the second pressing, you can see here that on side 1 we have one font, and on the other side we have a different font. So it's very difficult to notice, but you can clearly see that this is one font and this is the other font. This is the crossover pressing. Same vinyl, same matrix, -4 on both sides, but two different labels have two different fonts. So this is the one of the features of Rubber Soul UK pressings. Now we are talking about UK stereo pressing. So the cover is exactly the same, but the color is a little bit brighter. The color is a little bit brighter than the mono. And also on the back we have here flips, which is the feature of first UK pressings, and the same credits here, patent pending, and everything is the same, only here that catalog number is different. That's it. So the cover is the same. Now if we look at the vinyl, the matrix number of stereo first pressing is -2. Now the fonts are different from the UK mono first pressing, and the fonts on both sides are same, so it's not a crossover pressing. Okay, now other than the matrix number here and the YEX matrix number and the catalog number here, everything is the same, but it also here is added stereo. That's it. All the other things are the same. We have sold in UK subject to resale price conditions text, the gramophone here, so everything is pretty much the same. What's also interesting to mention is that on side 1 the stereo is written above the letter H, and there is no gap between stereo and parlophone. But if we look at the side 2, we can see that stereo is a little bit to the right. It starts on the letter O and there is a gap. So this is also an interesting thing to notice. Other than that, no other differences. Okay, now we're talking about two Germans. If you look at the two Germans, first and the third, you can clearly see that the picture on the first pressing is a little bit brighter. Okay, I'm going to take it out from my shrink. Now, you can see that it's also laminated on the front, and the Rubber Soul logo is not red as it was. It's a little bit orange, it's lighter. Now here we have Odeon logo here, SMO 84066. This is the first pressing. The second pressing has SMO 74066. Not to be confused, 84 is the first pressing, 74 is the second pressing. Now here in the back we don't have a flips, and here the bottom is completely changed, and the quality of the paper is not as good, and the pictures on the bag are brighter. So the same credit here, the same block here, and here we have the catalog number. So overall, very good quality. The third pressing, which is also laminated, and here the Rubber Soul logo is is bright orange. It's even brighter than the other one. So if you compare these two logos, you can see that this one is a little bit darker and this is the very, very light orange. Here the front and the back, both of them are laminated. Here we have the catalog number. Here the text is also exactly the same as the first pressing, but here we have printed in Germany, credit added. So the pictures are darker, not as bright as the first German, and this box here doesn't change with all the credits. Okay, so the quality of the this cover is way much better in comparison to the first one. Now we are looking at the first German pressing, which is on stereo Odeon label. Now here we have interesting. This is Odeon. Here it says stereo, and you know that this is not the first pressing, this is the second pressing. Why? Because the text here is different. Here the text is starting with U, R, H, and so on, and the first one starts with alle, which means all, A-L-L-E. So if you see the text here that's starting without A, which means you have second pressing, not the first. So what do we have here also? With the Gamma, the Right Society. Here we have the catalog number. Here we have the song listing. And what's interesting, what's interesting here that I'm looking through you is wrongly misspelled. There is one letter missing. This is also a German feature that appears on many albums, the misprints. Sometimes the letters are missing, so Rubber Soul is not exception. So here the one letter is missing. I'm looking through you. Okay, side 1, no differ. So here we have made in Germany, Urheber, which means that it's a second pressing. And here we have the catalog number and red Odeon. And here we have the golden trim. So you know that it's a early German pressings. Okay, so this is the first German pressing, and now we are talking about third German pressing. The logo is completely different, the label is completely different. Here we have Odeon label, the black logo with EMI. The label itself is blue. Here it says stereo in the center, not above as it was the other one. Here we have the catalog number, and here we see the same text, Urheber, without alle. So this is the third pressing. Okay, and it says here made in Germany and the same track listing. So standard Odeon blue label. So next one, Israeli pressing. As you can see, the picture is zoomed out. E and R are cut because it's a scan from a picture. And you can see Lennon's eyes are green and the picture is darker. And the logo of Parlophone is also cut, and in Paul McCartney's neck's cut, and George's face is almost cut, and head is all cut. So this is the scan of a picture. This is not laminated on either side. Here we have the pictures. The back is almost the same copy as the British one, but what's interesting here that on the back side the logo of Rubber Soul and the Beatles are not black, they are red. So this is the only copy where I see the logo red. And here we have the British catalog number, which is also stereo. Okay, so we don't have here made in Israel, we don't have here made in Britain, we have here nothing. I mean, the only thing that doesn't change is this block here and the pictures. The only thing that they change is the color. So this is not the best quality of printing, but I really love that cover. I think it looks cool. So now we are talking about the vinyl. So this is on, as I said, this is late '69 pressing. This is not the first or second pressing. This is a later pressing, as we know it by silver black Parlophone label, and we have only one EMI box here. The rest is a standard. Here we have stereo, the catalog number. Here we have the side and speed and gramophone. I mean, everything is standard. And it doesn't say here made in Great Britain. It's been, deleted here, of course. Here we have the song listing. The same here on the second side. No, nothing special to mention. The only thing that I have to mention that the vinyl is flimsy and very, very thin. Now we are talking about UK 1973 pressing. It's a repress, of course. And the first thing that I want to mention is that the cover is very bright. In comparison to the original 60s, it's very bright. but no complaints. It's laminated only on the front. The back is not laminated and we don't have a flips here, but all the other thing is completely the same. The only thing that printed made Begara Lofthouse is not printed on the right lower corner, it's printed in the center lower. And the black and white pictures are brighter, and this block doesn't change, and as you can see, the logo of Rubber Soul and the Beatles are back to black. Okay, so no particular complaints about this one. It's nice copy, but nothing special about it. Let's talk about the vinyl. Vinyl is also very standard, nothing special here. This is, as we know, we have here two EMI boxes, which means that it's later than 1973 pressing, and I think that it's 1972 or 1973 pressing, I'm not sure. So we have here gramophone, stereo, the catalog number, we have here the song listing, and here we have made in Great Britain. So the Israeli pressing omits this EMI box and omits the Great Britain. Rest is the same. On the other side we have the same, so nothing special to mention here. Now we are talking about the 1980 Dutch pressing, and right away you can notice that the cover is darker and a little bit reddish. The faces are not white, they are red. The rest is the same, it's laminated on both sides, front and back, it's laminated. The bottom of the back cover is exactly the same. Here we have the catalog number. The black and white pictures are darker and very good quality. And here this block also doesn't change. So this block is always the same. So very good, very nice quality cover. I have nothing to say about this one. I really like that cover. What about the vinyl? The vinyl is also on a silver black Parlophone label, but this one is not the standard silver black Parlophone as we know. This is only black, and the Parlophone is written in a silver fonts, but it's not in the box as we are used to. It's completely different layout. So this is the standout label, and if you see this one, you can easily know that it's a Dutch pressing from 1980. Here it says made in Holland. Here we have stereo and the catalog number and side 2, and the right side is Stemra. Here we have the matrix number as usual, and here we have the song listing. And on the side 2 is exactly the same. So the only difference that I have to mention that this silverback Parlophone logo has different layout, different design. But other than that, nothing else special to mention. So now we are talking about the American pressing on Capitol. My copy is in a very bad condition, it's torn, but I will just show you overall. I don't want to take it out from the shrink because it's a very bad condition. And you can see that picture is brownish, and here on top we do have the Capitol logo, and here we have T2442, that this picture was glued over, pasted over. And as you can see that this picture was not directly pasted over, it's been a little bit to the side. So here I have the bigger distance and here smaller. So it's been a little bit crooked. So yeah, this is the brownish. We don't have here the logo. We have Capitol logo here on top. On the back we have here high fidelity recording logo with capital EMI. And here this box here is changed completely. We don't have the same as it was. But we still have the same information. We don't have the information that pictures are made by Robert Freeman here in the box. We have the information that the photography Robert Freeman is on the bottom. So the information from here was spread all over the back cover, but the pictures are the same. So that's how the American pressing looks like. Now let's look at the vinyl of American. So here we have a rainbow Capitol label. And here we have Rubber Soul and the name of the musicians, but we don't have the name of the band written here anywhere. Here we have the song listing, here we have the catalog number, and since we don't have here anything, it's mono pressing, not a stereo. And here we have also the side 2. And what's interesting to mention is that on the stereo pressing of Rubber Soul, the song I'm looking through you has a misstart. It has several bits of wrong start before the song starts. So this appears only on the stereo pressing, not on the mono. I don't have American stereo, but I have to mention that it is. Okay, so if you have the stereo American version, you have a wrong start of the song I'm looking through you. Okay, so this is the American first pressing on mono, and this is the standard rainbow capital label. So here we came to the most interesting and most, strange pressing. This is the original stereo 1970 Mexican pressing. This is the first time that it was pressed on stereo. The first 2 pressings in Mexico were made on mono. So this is the first Mexican 1970 stereo pressing, but overall 3rd pressing. Now, what do we see here right away is that the picture is a little bit zoomed, and we have here the capital S stereo, and the color is a little bit brownish and very, very bright. But the most important thing to mention here, that if you look closer, on John Lennon's shoulder we see a loose thread. This loose thread appeared on the original photo, which was made by Robert Freeman, but most of the countries brushed this one out. So the only 2 countries that left this one, it was Mexico and Argentina. So this is the Mexican pressing, and the most unique cover is American styled cover, brownish, a little bit zoomed, and we do see here John Lennon's shoulder thread, loose thread. So that was the only reason why I was waiting for this one for more than 2 months, and now it came. So the back looks exactly as the American. Here are all the credits. Here are all the credits. Robert Freeman and George Martin, the producer, were made in Mexico, and the information about the song listing. Everything is in Spanish, of course. The logo is in black, and just like the American, the Beatles is written in big letters. So the black and white pictures are very bad quality. It looks like they were copied and reprinted, but I'm not complaining. I'm happy to have this one. So this is 1970 Mexican pressing in a mint condition. Last but not least, let's look at the vinyl. So we do have here, I believe that it's called Target logo. I don't know how it's called, maybe I'm wrong, correct me. But we have here green capital label. Here it says made in Mexico, some text in Spanish, I don't understand anything. Here it says capital, Rubber Soul, the Beatles. Here we have Lado 1, which is the side one. This is the matrix number, XEX, but it's stereo, but we know that XEX comes from the mono. So this is very interesting. Here it says here stereo, but the numbers here are XEX. Okay. So SLAM 020, this is the matrix number which is printed here, and here we do have the song listing, and also and most important thing to mention is that here we have Drive My Car, L. McCartney. Then we have here Lennon McCartney on Norwegian Wood, and then rest of the songs we have here You Won't See Me, L. McCartney. And here we have M.C.C. Cartney, and here we have M.A.C.C. Cartney, which is a misprint. Then here we have Nowhere Man, L. McCartney, which means Lennon is shortened, but McCartney left full. And here on the song You Won't See Me we have a misprint. And then we have Think For Yourself, Harrison, and Ward and Michelle we also have L. McCartney, L. McCartney. So it's very interesting. Lennon's name was shortened on 5 songs, and Norwegian Wood is left full, Lennon McCartney. Very interesting, very rare. So here we have also what goes on, L. McCartney minus S. So it's Lennon McCartney Starkey. Then we have Girl, Lennon McCartney. This is correct. Then we have I'm Looking Through You, Lennon McCartney. Then In My Life, once again L. McCartney. Then Wait, once again L. McCartney. Then If I Needed Someone, it's Harrison. And Run for Your Life, we have Lennon, McCartney. So Lennon's name appears only 4 times, and McCartney's name appears on our songs, on 12 songs, and one of them is misprinted, which is very, very rare. I don't know if I have seen it before. Here we have, I don't know if you can see it or not, here we have McCartney, so additional A. So this is a very, very, very unique misprint version, and with very unique cover, loose thread. So this one is definitely worth having in your collection. This one was worth waiting, and that's the reason why I postponed my video for more than 2 months. So now let's go back to the normal mode and talk about the sound. Okay, so here we are, back to the normal mode and with my notebook. Notebook, not the computer. Okay, so now I'm going to be mentioning the album, and then I will be talking about all the features that I heard. Okay, so first of all, we are starting from the UK first pressing, mono, with the matrix number -1, which is called a loud cut. So what can I say about this one? The sound here is just amazing, just a superb sound. The voice is centered, loud and very clear. The subs are okay, high and low frequencies are absolutely okay, no background noise. I mean, I don't have any complaints about this album, so I'm giving 10 out of 10. Second one, UK second pressing, which is matrix number -4. Now, this one is slightly different. The same as the first one. I mean, the sound is great, it's very loud and massive, good sound, and the voice is centered. I mean, everything is the same. I also give it 10 out of 10, but here there is a little addition. On the second side, and also on the first side, I mean, before you start the song, there is, when you put the needle on the groove, and before it starts the song, 1 second before the song starts, you can hear the same song that is about to start in a very, very low volume. So the playback of the song starts 1 second before. Before the song Drive My Car, before the actual song starts, you can hear the first second of the song, very, very low volume, and then the song starts. So this feature appears only on the second UK mono pressing with the matrix number -4, and the same thing appears on the Israeli pressing, but I will talk about it later. So that's the only difference. That's what makes this album unique. I heard it. If you make your volume very high and you listen very, very closely to the first second before the song starts, you can hear those notes in a lowered volume. Okay, the third press with the matrix -5 is absolutely the same. Those 3 versions get straight 10 out of 10. I mean, there's no discussion about it. Okay, now we're talking about the UK first stereo pressing. What can I say? All the songs except one, the voice is to the left. The voice comes from the left side and you can clearly hear it. But the song What Goes On with Ringo vocals coming from the right. That you can hear very clearly. If you don't believe me, check it out. Okay, now the volume is clear, subs are okay, high and low frequencies are also okay, and overall I give it 9 out of 10 because I can hear the different voices and different instruments coming from different sides. Maybe that was the intention. When you listen to Ringo's song, the What Goes On song, you can hear that background voices are coming from the left and the main vocal of Ringo coming from the right. Now, when you listen to the other songs, the main vocals are coming from the left. So, I don't know, maybe that was the intention, but that's what I heard. So overall, I'm also satisfied with this album, and I give it 9 out of 10. Okay, now we go to German first pressing, which is on the white Odeon label, and I have to say that white Odeons a little bit disappoint me. It's not the first time that white Odeon disappoints me, so I have to say that once again the voices are coming from the left, the vocals are coming from the left side, but the Ringo song is coming from the right. This doesn't change. In comparison to the British ones, it's not so loud. It's not so loud. High frequencies are cut, are subdued. You can, if you listen to the British one and then you put the German one, you can clearly hear that it's been lowered. The voice has been lowered. And also the basses are not as high as the British one. So I would say that highest frequencies and the lowest frequencies were a little bit cut. I don't know. Seems to me like it was a bit compressed, you know. So I'm not satisfied with this pressing, so I give it 7 out of 10. A German third press. This one is way much better. So I say that voice is coming from the left, that's what I heard, and Ringo's voice coming from the right, doesn't change. It's louder than its previous German. It is clear, and everything is okay. I mean, I wasn't disappointed with this pressing. So this German pressing sounds superior, sounds great. High and low frequencies are okay, and the basses are also okay. So overall, I want to give it 10 out of 10, but you know, I wanted to give it 9 out of 10, but I feel that it deserves 10 out of 10. So it's very good pressing. So if you want to find a German pressing, I suggest you find the third German pressing with the blue audio label. Okay, now we're going to Israeli 1969 stereo second pressing. First of all, I have to say that it's very thin, very flimsy vinyl, and it's noisy. Loud and clear, high frequencies are okay, low frequencies are missing, basses are missing, are very, very weak basses, but overall sounds okay. Once again, the voices and the vocals are coming from the left, and Ringo's vocals coming from the right. And also interesting, it has the same feature as has the second British pressing. The songs on both sides start, I mean, you can hear the same notes 1 second before it starts in very low volume. So you have to check it out by yourself. Okay, so overall I give the Israeli pressing 8 out of 10. First of all, I don't like the vinyl, it's very flimsy and very thin, and despite the fact that the cover is a scan of the picture, I like the cover. It's been a little bit zoomed and a little bit darker, so I really like the cover. Okay, so Israeli pressing gets 8 out of 10 from me. Okay, 1972 UK stereo pressing. As we saw, the cover has many differences, but I'm not going to talk about the cover, we're talking about the sound. So I don't hear much that difference from the 65 UK stereo pressing. And what I have to say that the only difference that I heard is no matter how much I try to increase the subwoofer and the basses, I couldn't hear the basses. I didn't like the basses. So the bass, the lower frequencies in this pressing are not so good as the first stereo. So this one gets 8 out of 10. Okay, and now we are talking about the Dutch pressing from 1980. Once again, the voices are coming from the left, Ringo coming from the right, as usual, loud and clear. Basses are okay. I was surprised to hear the basses were okay on the Dutch pressing. And loud and clear, and everything's cool. So I give it 9 out of 10. I'm very happy and very satisfied with the Dutch pressing. Okay, now we have two exotic versions, I would say. Why exotic? Because they are slightly different from the others. Now we're talking about the USA pressing from 1965 mono. We all know that USA pressings have different song listing, and I don't really consider them as the official Beatles album. Sorry, American guys, don't be mad at me. But I still used it here. I'm still gonna review it. Now it has 2 songs less, and 2 songs are coming from the Help album. And we don't have the song What Goes On, so I cannot say from which channel the Ringo's vocals are coming, but I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be the same. But overall, I have to say that all the vocals are coming from the left. Maybe Ringo coming from the right, but we don't have it, so I cannot say anything. It's clear and loud. Low and high frequencies are okay. The bass was very good. I was really happy to hear good bass. Surround is okay, so I really like the sound of it. No background noises, nothing in particular to mention. So just because of the cover, which is a little bit darker and brownish, and 4 original Rubber Soul songs missing, I give it 8 out of 10. Okay? Maybe I can give it 9 out of 10, okay, to be fair, okay? I'm not a big fan of the American pressings, but still, you know, to be fair, I give it 9 out of 10, okay? So my American friends won't be mad at me. Okay, and here comes the most exciting version, which is from Mexico, and I already showed you the reason why I was waiting for it, because of the cover. Now let's talk about the sound of it. The sound is very loud, high frequencies okay, clear, voices to the left, Ringo's voice coming from the right again. The basses are okay. I was really happy to hear the basses. I put the song Run for Your Life, the last song, which is kind of rockish, and I made my volume up to maximum and the subwoofers up to maximum, and you can clearly hear the sound like a booming. So I was very happy to hear it. And no background noises, so wonderful copy, wonderful pressing. It's a British track listing on the Mexican that has American cover, so it's very unique and it deserves 10 out of 10. Okay, so that was the my 11 pressings of Rubber Soul. So I highly recommend British pressings, of course. The German third pressing is superior. And Mexican pressing is also good. So if you can get the Mexican pressing, which I'm really happy to have, this one with this special cover, then get it and put it in your collection. Okay, so I have to say that the biggest disappointment is German first pressing on the white golden Odeon labels. I don't like those pressings. What can I say? That's my opinion, that's my ears, that's what I hear. And this is only my opinion, that's what I think. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoy my video. Thank you very much for waiting for more than 2 months until I uploaded that video. I had my reasons, and this is one of them. And next week I'm going to holiday, so Revolver press review will be, I think, in 2 weeks, something like that. And I don't have too many copies of Revolver. I have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 copies of Revolver, not 11. And okay, so that's gonna be premiered in something around 2 weeks from today. Okay, so thank you very much once again for watching. That was fun video to make, and love the Beatles and listen to Rubber Soul. It's a wonderful album. See you in the next videos. Bye bye.